Hello, viewers. My name is Banu Balu. I am the VP HR and Operations at MSys Technologies. Today, I will be your host, asking Mr. Sanjay Sehgal, Chairman and CEO of MSys Group, question on this YouTube channel. I'm sure Sanjay need not have any introduction to everybody because he's a renowned leader in the industry. However, the benefit of the viewers, I felt it's for me to give a brief introduction about Sanjay. Sanjay is a compulsive entrepreneur, global businessman, startup advisor, keynote speaker, and philanthropist in heartfulness. Not taking much time, let's put across all the questions to Sanjay now. Good morning, Sanjay. Nice to have you here. Just want to check how the day treats you.
Well, so far so good. Thanks for having me. you know, and it's early morning here in Atlanta, and but I think I'm glad to be joining you all.
Okay. Before I think the viewers have a lot of questions, I also want to steal some more time for you to answer my questions first. What is your answer for Monday morning blues? This worrying me for more years, I can say.
I think, but it's a, I what to say. I think it's a pressure. I think we put on ourselves. What if you tell your mind it's not Monday morning, it's Tuesday morning? What happens?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
of course, Friday morning is happy morning.
Yes. So I think it's how we train our mind, what we tell our
Yes.
mind.
Okay.
I think we put the pressure on our mind. I remember, I think when I moved to US several years ago, I used to feel, I mean, at that time, 30, I'm talking 30 years ago, I know our happiest time used to be Sunday evening in India, right? I mean, Sunday evening, you go to a market, it's crowded. There are programs on TV. I mean, there are like evening is like the best time. Everybody in the family is present, everything. When I came to US, I mean, US is a more advanced society. So, right, that's where India is today, right? So in US, I used to see Sunday morning is like the most morose. I mean, it's like the morning, not the meaning. People are so pressured because they have to prepare for Monday morning, and they now the weekend is over. There, the happiest time is Friday evening, right? It used to be like that. Friday evening is the happiest time in America, and Saturday evening follows that, and then Sunday evening is the worst time. People are pressured. In fact, they used to say that emergency room visits on Sunday
Mm,
evening are the most, because some people put so much pressure on them, right, that they end up there. If they have any health condition, they end up there.
mm,
Now, we may be thinking, okay, Sunday evening, what is this? Yeah, I'm telling you, it's something we put so much pressure on us. Imagine, the humanity when it came into existence. Did we have all these? See, all these are man-made, right? Aren't
true.
these? All these are man-made. So they can be unmade by man, by a man or woman, right?
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, we put pressure on us that this is Sunday evening. Oh, I have to get ready. I have to do this. If I have a student, it's a student assignment. I have to prepare a report in the morning. Suppose you tell yourself it is not Sunday evening, I mean, in your mind, or it's not Monday morning, automatically things will change.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
It's
you,
just,
Sanjay. I think it helps really the viewers also. Many of them we in office we discussed about it, and also especially the children at home Monday morning getting ready to go to school. It's like crying. I think now we need to time to change your mindset. How do you want to do it? Thank you,
yes.
Sanjay. Thank you. Thank you very much on that. Yeah. And I have a couple of questions coming up, and this is also from my end. I know that you're going to shoot me, but still, people people say CEO's job is very easy. Not only me, everybody says, but I have seen you all time busy. What's your answer, Sanjay?
Well, CEO's job is easy, I tell you, provided he or she is surrounded by a good team. And I'm fortunate to have that in all of you. So my job is easy. I don't deny that. I mean, Being busy all the time, that is by choice. I stay busy in not just MSIS work, but in many other things, as you know. So that is my compulsive habit.
Okay,
Being
okay. I
busy.
can, yeah.
But
I think
yes,
it's not easy, as you rightly said. Building the blocks now, completed the house constructions. Now looking at and enjoying that kind of a thing. I can understand from the initial stage how you would have been, and now also I can see you're busy, but still, I think happy CEO, cool CEO. That's what I can say.
thank you. And I think it is, I tell you, the difference comes in the mental sphere. The guy who is digging the road, right, or digging the well, he works the hardest, isn't it? But
Yeah,
as the nature of, again, all these are man made, this is a man made universe now around us, he doesn't get paid the most, or he doesn't have the
true,
easy job, right?
true.
But I think we all, I mean, as you grow into more of a mental sphere of your work, and then people who are in the strategy, people who carry the work with them all the time, right?
Mm,
Right. I mean, so my job is not that I am doing a lot of things, but I am carrying a lot of things in my head, right?
yeah. Thanks, Sanjay. I think couple of more questions from the viewers. Let me stop my questions now. So, what should we consider while deciding employees' pay scale? Years of experience or actual hands on experience? Because some people gain more practical knowledge in less time. Does number of years matter in terms of experience?
Well, the norm is like that, unfortunately, around us. But my personal experience is that, there's a difference between the wisdom and intelligence, right? Wisdom is based on, is just comes, right? They say an intelligent person knows how to get out of a hole. A wise person knows not to fall into the hole in the first place, right?
Rightly said.
And that experience does not just come necessarily from age, right? Or doesn't just come, it comes by having gone through things, or by having, I would say, getting that getting that experience of going through that without having to go through it, right? And at times, I mean, you have to go through something to learn. Other is that you can just imagine, you can just intuitively feel that what would happen if you go through it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of, but of course the norm is that people take number of years and all that stuff. But I have seen some of the smartest guys in my life who didn't have number of years behind them, but they were just smart. They really knew, how to get things done. I'm talking about the technical field in which
Understood.
all my life we have hired people, and I really love those guys. I love those, if I may call them hackers, and if there are hackers out there listening, please join us. I love
Okay.
that mentality, that mindset. They already know how things will happen, how to break things, and when to break things. I mean, that's a different kind of, but I think, I mean, the norm is people here, and I often feel funny when you ask somebody how much experience do you have, they say 3.25 years, as that, 0.25 or or 0.05 will add an extra wisdom or extra intelligence to that person, right? I mean, this is, I think, somewhere people have to feel that themselves. And I'm still waiting for an employee or a person looking for a job whom I ask how many years, and he says, "Does it really matter? Are you looking for a person who can do the job, or are you looking for a number of years?"
I think soon you will meet such kind of a people, Sanjay. Very
Sure,
soon.
very looking
Very
forward
soon.
to it.
Good, good. Next question is coming up to you, Sanjay. Are there any future plans of MSIS becoming a public listed company either in India, NSE, or the US, Sanjay? Look forward to answer from you.
See, the dream of every organization is that, that. to become as big as any public company. Of course, public companies have their own baggage, that they have to manage. And I would want to share that at MSIS we do get many, I would say, offers to either get bought, get acquired by a larger company, other public listed company, or by investors who want to invest so that they can help us grow further and eventually become a public listed company. I think at
Okay.
this stage, I would tell you, I think we don't have any plans, and I think there's a very deliberate decision to stay away from all that, because that will take away the freedom. I mean, if
Okay.
you look at employees of public listed company, and as head of our HR, we hire people from, most of the time we hire people from public listed companies, right? I won't name
Yes.
them, but we hire
Yeah.
all the time. And do you think those guys are better off than us by any means? And I don't think so. And I think, yes, they have may have, in some cases they may have created wealth for their employees, like Infosys did very well, but those were different times. I mean, that 30 years ago, the industry was at its infancy and they were able to create value for a lot of people. Now it is increasingly becoming difficult to do that. I mean, some of the newest companies, they created wealth only for the founders, not
Hmm.
for every employee. I mean, as we know that, because we hire people from all those companies, right?
Yep. True.
So I think I think for us, being able to have, if I may say, that control over our own destiny, and grow it the way we like to grow, not putting too much pressure. I mean, you worked for a public listed company earlier yourself, Banu, and I mean the amount of pressure it puts on all the management and everything. Not that it is bad, but is it necessary, right? Uh,
Good.
we, at
Thanks.
least me as a CEO, I don't see the need to show off that we am public company
This.
CEO.
Okay. Thanks, Sanjay. I appreciate your transparency on this particular question. I really appreciate it. And move on to the next question, Sanjay. This is from our employee Iman Chu. At what point in your entrepreneurial journey did you feel like you had made it, that the company you have built would survive now, no matter what?
I have done many companies, and I don't think I ever felt that I had made it personally. I had shared earlier in some of the sessions that I feel I'm like a cultivator. That's what I know. I just know how to start a business, how to run a company or build a company. It comes naturally to me. So that's what I have done or have been doing for the last 20 years. So it's never that, okay, I have made it now, like that. Never that feeling. I've never seen. Now, I think the company would survive or not. I mean, early part of my life or entrepreneurial journey, I did venture funded companies, where did we say that you're always looking for raising money. I mean, you're always raising money basically. And I think when I started MSIS, which was bootstrapped, self funded company, and I think within few years of running it and growing it, I felt now, okay, at least we have enough around us to be able to survive, to be able to not look for money from outside, and build this to be a stable company the way we all wish to build this. And I think that feeling, I would say, few years of into it, was I mean, I had that feeling, and of course it was because of the strong foundation that it was based on. And I think the values, they say, the values and principles. Some of you who have if you have read the 7 principles of highly effective people, Stephen Covey's book. I mean, you may know that the
Yep.
values and principles, these are very, very important in our lives. And I think for each individual, I think if you haven't read that book, I will advise all of you to do so.
Good, good. Thanks, Sanjay. I know that MSIS is very close, and the MSIS employee is also in such a way, and I'm sure that it'll come up very well. I'm moving on to the next question, Sanjay, to you. Parth Agarwal, the question from Parth Agarwal. I want to be an entrepreneur, but I do not know how to start. He needs seeking your advice for that.
I think I have some of the videos how to be an entrepreneur and all in on my channel. So you may want to watch those. And I think in my definition of entrepreneur is not just the guy who starts a company. Entrepreneurial attitude, zeal to me is more of an attitude, is more of a way of working. I in fact often have given example. Even a mailman can be entrepreneurial. I have seen a cobbler on the street can be entrepreneurial because he's devising new ways of solving a problem that is presented to him. And so anybody who looks at a problem in a unique way, in a different way to solve it, I think is an entrepreneur in a way. And so I think it's if you really are asking me about how to start a company, I think first you look at the problem that you want to solve and how you want to solve it. And the way you solve it, are people going to pay money for it? Because these days, in fact yesterday in some session I mentioned that the vision and ideas, these are plenty. And some people say, oh, you're visionary. I mean, I think uh, I wish to be called a guy, known more as a guy who can execute well rather than who have a good vision. Because these days, ever since the world has become flat with the internet, I think everybody can have an idea. I mean, there are a ton of ideas every people have, but how do you convert those ideas into a good execution, into a good product, good service that people are willing to pay for it, and you can replicate that through millions or billions of dollars. That's where the trick lies. So I think
Great.
it's if you want to if you want to start a company, if you should look at, is there a problem that is looking for a solution? Is that solution something that only you can uniquely solve that problem, and are people willing to pay for it, or are there sufficient number of people who are willing to pay a lot of money for it for you to build a successful business?
Thanks, Sanjay. I think it's a wonderful advice because people do not know where to start. Now, I think you have triggered me also to think on those lines. Thanks for the
So please
advice, Sanjay.
don't leave us, Banu. Huh?
No, Sanjay, the next
But you
question
can
coming
be
out to you, Sanjay.
entrepreneurial in what you do, basically. That's
Yes.
the point, right?
There's a question from Sriram Pray. At times, I get furious with unreasonable clients, but control, but the loud ones, but with the loud ones, I burst out occasionally and feel bad. If I don't speak, it lingers, and if I do it, I repent. What do you do? Sriram is actually looking at serious advice from you.
And I'm really touched by him asking this, because asking such a personal thing requires a lot of guts, right? And I really feel, and I think first, Shriram, I would like to share with you, you're not alone in this. People that we are closest to, right, are the ones that we actually become angry on. Always. I mean, you're not, I mean, clients, I mean, we all can manage them well because we see them occasionally. But people who are around you, that you're very close to, you care for, and they care for you, are the ones. And I'm not saying that they give you trouble, no, that you have certain expectations from them. And it starts with that. So I think if you remove that expectation, or they should behave it in certain way, I think if you can in your mind think of, be empathetic towards them, that they are acting out, or they are saying out of their love or their care for you. Let's say they are requesting your time, right? And you are busy, and then you burst out, as an example. Obviously, they are asking for your time because they really need you, they really love you, they enjoy your company, just as an example. But at a larger level, there is a wonderful quote from someone, I forgot the name of the person, that I like to share with you if you can remember that. They say that the gap between the stimulus and response, there lies our growth. In the gap between the stimulus and the response lies an opportunity for our growth. Simple way you can solve this problem is the gap when somebody asks you something, says something, however close he or she may be. In that gap, first of all, you don't have to react or you don't have to respond right away. In that gap, pause, you think. You think, you take a deep breath, and move your mind away from that, what they're asking you or what they're expecting from you. If you can develop that habit, that alone would solve your problem. You know,
I think.
in Banu, you know, I am an avid meditator, and one of the things in heartfulness we suggest to people is always refer to your heart, and that in that gap you can practice that. You know, we say that reaction comes from the mind and response comes from the heart.
Okay. Can you repeat that, Sanjay?
The reaction comes from the mind and the response comes from the heart. So as you become more heartful, I think your reactions will turn into your response.
Okay. I think, thanks, Sanjay. I think detailed briefing you're given, and I'm sure that not only helping Sriram, and Sriram actually helped many of us to understand this particular thing. Thank you very much, Sanjay, for that. The next question on the way: what is that one quality that will help in finding a life partner?
You know, many of you know, Manu, that my son recently got married after waiting, I would say, for a little over a year and a half after getting engaged, you know. And not only through him and my own self, and but many people around me, I have seen this, and I have learned this from my own mentor, that how does one find a life partner is by staying natural and authentic, you know.
Hmm.
I think that's it's very important these days. I mean, how do you find a good customer? People ask in sales. I mean, just be authentic and genuine. I think you will hear that more and more often because it is lacking these days with our 24/7 bombardment of social media. I think we see others doing this and that, and so we feel pressure to do the same. We feel pressure to be like others rather than staying natural to who we are, right? And who we are
Yeah,
and becoming the best version of ourselves. You're never in competition with others. You're in competition only with your own self. If these two things someone can understand, someone can realize, try to implement, I think you would be able to find a life partner easily. Your life partner will find you. How about that, right? Because you are authentic and natural, you are genuine, and the right person will come to you. And then I think the second reason I find why people are not able to find in case they have a trouble is because they all have preconceived notion. Oh, I want this
mm,
kind of life partner. I
true.
want. Everybody has their wish list without realizing the other person may also have a wish list, and you may not come anywhere close to that wish list, right? And I think if you stay natural, be authentic and genuine, automatically your requirement list will come down. Then the
I
right
think
person will come to you.
I think you rightly said, Sanjay, because we think we have our own wish list. This is the way I want it. The other side also, the other person has a wish list. I think many people we have not realized that this is the way it works, right?
That's
I think a lot of youngsters will get this message and finding a life partner or the life partner will find this person. Good,
sure.
Sanjay. I think some more questions which coming up from Rajendra. How old were you in when you had a first celebrity crush? And
Who was
who was it?
man? I think I don't know, man. Maybe it was Madhuri Dixit, and I must have been quite young at that time. I think I was, if I remember, I was in either 12th grade or I'm trying to remember 12th grade or the first year of college or something. That's when it was, man. And she was a dream girl. I mean, we all have had that, right? Why not?
Hope Geeta ma'am is listening at the other side. Good. The next question from Rajeshri. What's your go-to guilty pleasure?
Man, go to guilty pleasure. Well, eating some wonderful, nice ice cream. I'm a big fan of ice creams, and I think I may have tried several different brands and flavors. One flavor I don't like is chocolate. Sorry to say to all the chocolate ice cream lovers. And I think I like to keep trying different ones. Typically, whenever I'm having ice cream, there are two, three, different scoops of different flavors all in one cup, and that's my go-to guilty pleasure. Now, I mean, some people who know me, they may have been expecting, I will say, nice espresso. Well, that's not go-to guilty. That's enjoyment. I don't
So we
feel
get to know
guilty.
your secret now,
Yeah,
Sanjay. Thank
I
you.
don't feel
Yeah.
guilty having espresso.
Yes, Sanjay. The next question coming up from Priyanka Sharma. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what it would be?
Man, this all sounds like a rapid fire round. I'll tell you, it's a walnuts. I love walnuts. Soaked walnuts are my favorite food, and I mean, sometimes I feel I can just live off of them all my life.
Good, good. Thanks, Sanjay. I think next question getting lined up now. Sanjay, I just want to check with you. You travel quite a bit and spending a lot of time with us on a social media and other things. I always wonder, though you answered earlier sessions that how do you do your work-life balance? It's really surprising me how that could be possible. Checking mails, doing things, it takes a lot of time for us that, but you are into so many things. Can you please help us?
I think you know, I often give this example. How much time does it take you to brush your teeth in the morning? Hardly any time,
Hardly.
right? And same things which are part of your daily routine, things which are part of your life, which are instinctive to you, they don't take any time because you don't think about them.
Okay.
Work life balance, because people think too much about things. See, we say that every action of ours is preceded by a thought, right? Now, it also means that every thought, right, is leading to some action. On average, human beings have 60 to 80,000 thoughts. We don't perform that many actions. So, more majority of the thoughts are waste because we keep thinking about the same thing over and over again. Procrastination, deliberating, too much of all this is there. And I think it is, I feel that if we can make the things that we do on daily basis quite instinctive in our life, like a habit, like brushing teeth, you know, that you get up, you do this, you do, then make them as part of, some people say make them part of routine, right? the 5 a.m. routine. That some things are like that. Get up, run, do this. So for me, if you make those things instinctive, they become natural, and then automatically the balance comes. Because things you can incorporate in your life, make them instinctive by choosing them. You say, well, I want to meditate, I want to run, I want to respond to emails, I want to do this. That's you have series like that, right? And I think you can make them instinctive, then you don't have to think about them, right?
I think, yeah, that's practice how
Arey,
we make
I
it.
have to go for a run now. Let me think when to go. I have to do this. I like to state that funny story. You may have heard earlier in my earlier talks that there was a centipede, an insect with 100 legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And somebody asked him, "Hey, you have 100 legs. How do you know which leg to put first?" And the
Okay.
guy could never walk after that because he started thinking, "Do I think which leg to put first?" Now, when we walk, do we know which leg to put first?
Mm,
I mean, we
yeah,
just walk. It's natural to us. Make things, as many things as possible, natural to you.
good. I think thanks so much, Sanjay. I think we have a time constraint also. So, one last question, I'll take it from Priyanka. Which part of your life you enjoy more, being a CEO or being on social media?
Being on social media, hands down.
No surprise.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, good. One more from Mirror. What is the last thing you read?
I am. There are two books of Osho I am trying to complete in
Okay.
parallel. Uh, I mean, Osho. I mean, his writing I got was introduced to a couple of years ago, and I really feel bindas writing. I talk about these things, and I mean, I think the highly misunderstood person I felt. Osho has been, and one book on astrology. It's a small book. Other book which Daji, my heartfulness guide, he gave me, that is in Hindi actually, Osho's commentary on Bhakti Sutra, Sandalya Bhakti
Okay.
Sutra. It's in Hindi, and I haven't read a Hindi book in a while. It's taking me time. I understand Hindi quite well, but reading is just kind of, there is some resistance. But these two books I'm trying to read these days.
Good, Sanjay. Thanks. Thanks for sharing. I think it's time now. Thanks, Priyanka. It's a wonderful. Yes, thank you very much. So, Sanjay, thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you so much for your inputs. I'm sure our audience today got a lot of inputs that would help them to build a better future. For more such wisdoms, to do subscribe to Sanjay YouTube channel and follow him on the social media. Thank you very much, Sanjay. Have a great evening.